Hey, metalheads, and happy Halloween! This is a special episode dedicated to the Headless
Horseman.
Halloween Headless Horseman. It's like one of these H's that hurts my throat. What about this battle?
That's right. As all your kids are maybe or maybe not, pending coronavirus restrictions, collecting candy, the Headless Horseman doesn't give a shit. So, in
They're
that
coming
vein,
to get you.
we thought, what could we do for a Halloween episode? And what we thought was that we'll put a spotlight on the Headless Horseman and what metal bands sing about the Headless Horseman, who actually did a little bit of research, a little bit of Wikipedia whiskey walking, which is drinking whiskey and looking in Wikipedia to see what does Wikipedia say about the Headless Horseman, what are its cultural influences. Of course, everyone thinks about The Legend of Sleepy Hollow and the Tim Burton film.
I think of that.
But actually, the Headless Horseman is an enduring figure throughout history and across cultures, which is actually kind of cool because it's not just like one person's imagination. Yeah. It's like the Headless Horseman has ridden throughout time. And
isn't it something from the Bible, like the Headless Horseman of the Apocalypse?
It might be.
My Bible knowledge may be iffy, but this sounds quite familiar.
This figure is not just from one writer. It has appeared throughout multiple times in history, and I think just my favorite, and anyone who can go to Wikipedia and you'll find where I found this reference, is that the Irishmen, they have in kind of Celtic mythology, they have they call it the Dullahan, and this guy, who is essentially the Headless Horseman, this guy rides with the head in his hand, and the whip he has is made from the spine of a human corpse.
Oh,
so he's whipping people with the spine of a human corpse, and that's awesome.
Very Halloween-y.
Which sets up for, it's a great metal theme.
I think so. It suits for metal, and it's actually a little bit sad that off the top of my head, I cannot come up with some immediately reference to the Headless Horseman.
I'm sure there's a few out there, but I did some searching and I found two.
At least two, yeah.
What I think is actually a really nice battle. On the one hand, we have a song called The Headless Horseman by Pegazus, which is a band out of Australia, one of the few, and they have an album called The Headless Horseman. I think it's from 2002. And there's a song off that album called The Headless Horseman. It's their third album they've released. And when they played live, they borrowed the guitarist from Black Majesty, which we covered on the channel. So, by the way, that song, The Headless Horseman, and that album, well, I don't know about the album, but the song was inspired directly from the Tim Burton and Sleepy Hollow film.
Okay.
The Headless Horseman.
Which is such a great film, actually.
Yeah, because the lead singer, Johnny Stodge, I think I have that right, S-T-O-G, could be Stoy, I'm not sure. But he says that Pegazus, they write a lot of their songs based on cinematic inspiration. Yeah. So, in this case, the first song that we're going to hear is going to be The Headless Horseman from Pegazus, inspired from Sleepy Hollow. Headless Horseman. Let's hear it.
I'm so excited about this one.
It's a badass song. Yeah. And we'll get some, I think it's a music video from them. And let's hear it.
All
Roll.
for the Headless Hunter.
I feel like that was needed at the end.
Yeah. Oh, it was cool. Really
Such
like
a
the
good
galloping
song.
sound, like perfect for the rider, right? Like he's riding on that horse, and then the funny reference to themselves, right? Like, can you hear the thunder coming from down under?
Yeah.
Anybody from Australia?
Pegazus.
Cool. Really like it.
Apparently, I need to check out more of this band.
Cool. If there's any Australian listeners, watchers to the channel, please let us know what you think of this reference to your own continent, Down Under. I thought it was always funny to just refer to themselves as that. Great song.
Yeah.
And very much on theme, on Halloweeny,
On the Headless
scary
Horseman.
Headless Horseman theme.
So here we go into the next song about the Headless Horseman, and that's going to be, I have to double check the name just to make sure I have it right, which is Savage Circus, the Devil's Spawn. And Savage Circus
Devil's
is the
Spawn.
band. Devil's Spawn is the name, but it's going to be
Of the
about
song.
Yeah, the name
Yeah.
of the song, and it's going to be about the Headless Horseman. And the reason I had to check it is that I have a bunch of notes here, but Savage Circus is it's just a crazy side project from Tom Stout, which is the drummer for Blind Guardian. As he was kind of making his exit from the band, he formed this side project and brought in a bunch of players. So you have the vocalist Jens Karlsson, who is from the Swedish band Persuader, which is still active to this day. And
Nice.
because of Savage Circus, I've been listening to they only have 2 albums, and I really like them. So I'm going more into the
Persuader, you
just
say.
starting to get into Persuader. They launched a new album in 2020, so they're still active.
Nice.
So you have the vocalist Jens Karlsson
From Persuader.
from Persuader.
And the
Also,
guitarist.
the guitarist is Emil Norberg from Persuader.
Nice.
Then you had Pete Schleck, who is the guitarist for Iron Savior, was brought in to
Nice German
Savage
touch.
Circus. Yeah, you have it's basically a German-Swedish mix. And the drummer, so this is the interesting part, because you have Tom Stout coming from Blind Guardian, started the project for their first album, Dreamland Manor, eventually had some kind of health problems and was then kicked out of the band. And so they brought in another drummer whose name is Mike Tarana, American guy who has worked with a lot of, great musicians, Yngwie Malmsteen, for example. Like he's just kind of this, like, not really a drummer for a band, just kind of a freelancer dude.
Yeah.
And so that was under which the Doom and Death album, which we're going to hear a song from, Devil's Spawn, was made. So long story short, big history behind it. But this band, Savage Circus, has a lot of Blind Guardian, Iron Savior influences, obviously, but only had 2 albums. And after 2010, basically, is done. But if you like the vocals of this next song we're going to play, you can find more of that continuation in Persuader, which I
active
plan to do
this day, right?
myself. So let's hear
What's the name of the song? Devil's Spawn?
Devil's Spawn, of which the Devil's Spawn happens to be
The Headless Horseman?
Headless Horseman.
My God.
So let's hear it. We'll get some lyrics from that video, and let's get a taste of that German-Swedish power metal. love that song.
This is the song that I don't want to end. I love it. I have to say, yes.
So good, right?
I say yes to Savage Circus, which obviously gets my vote. Of course, let us know in the comments who gets your vote. It was a very difficult choice. First listens to me, right? Like I don't know the songs nor the bands actually, but wow.
Yeah, pretty obscure bands, but also kind of a signal that there are obscure bands that do pretty awesome songs.
Yes,
you know?
I wonder why we don't know more about them. Oh, this is one of the questions that I always ask myself rhetorically. Like, why do we know so much about Sabaton, which again, it's a band we tend to like, and so little about Savage Circus or Pegasus or many other bands we featured already on the channel? Like, wow, they make fantastic music.
Yeah.
Really. Wow, I was listening at the Savage Circus drum, again, probably because you also pointed to me in that direction, since the founder was a drummer, and then the other guy played with
So everyone's eyes are on the drum, even though if he...
But my goodness, how cool. I loved it because, I mean, I liked Pegasus as well when they did the galloping sound, but the galloping, when the lyrics were saying galloping and then the drums were following, like, this is such a complex and fast and crazy rhythm overlapping this galloping theme. It's not your straightforward galloping theme. This is like galloping things with extras.
Well,
you know?
they had to think about that when they're doing a song about the Headless Horseman, right?
I thought it was so cool.
Yeah.
I really like that bit. And of course, I know you liked very much the voice, and I also did like the voice, but for me, the highlight was the guitar, and now paying attention, more focused on the drums because of like what you told me before. Boy, that sat right there, you know? Awesome.
Savage Circus as a spin-off of Blind Guardian with the drummer forming it has to have drum performance.
Yeah.
There's no doubt about it.
Amazing. I just like, whoa. And again, it's like an instrument that is the backbone of a lot of bands and of songs, but rarely does it get that kind of recognition. So I think it's cool to bring it on for Savage Circus. I like the bass too, and the guitars. Persuader.
Yeah.
Persuader guitars. Maybe they live on, again, if I understand that correctly, Savage Circus has not really put out new albums basically for 10 years now.
No, they put out an album in 2020. So
Persuader
they are still
or Savage
out.
Circus? Or both of them?
Savage Circus is dead from 2009.
Okay.
But half of the band goes on as Persuader.
Dude, so complicated. I mean, this
And
is
I'll
when I'm
tell
like,
you,
okay.
So
Get my notebook.
So I like went to Spotify, clicked through some Persuader, and they had some harsh vocals, which viewers of the channel know that I'm not so much into. But ahead of this video, I went back and I listened to more of their stuff. And like, yeah, if you want a continuation, if you like this song, check out Persuader. They're still doing it, and I don't know why they're not bigger because, I mean, for me, Jens Carlson steals the show here, and it's an interesting phenomenon, and we kind of talked about this a little bit before, which is, for me, for this song, Devil Spawn, I think it's so good. I love the song. It was kind of a stacked, the Pegasus is actually an incredible challenger, but could not match what I already had in mind for Devil Spawn, and it's one of those songs that I listen to because like I love a certain segment of the song, which is the second chorus, because you have
so niche.
you have three instances of the chorus. You have it's all night after night, but the second one, he must ride on and on into eternal salvation. I love that part. I love the way Jens Carlson sings it. That ties me to the vocalist, and that vocalist is still going on today into Persuader. So that's my next move, is to check out more Persuader stuff. Never heard of them until
me neither.
This random
horseman search.
Yeah, Horseman Search.
One of these rabbit holes of the
So,
internet.
It's very cool. If you guys know anything about Persuader, what are their good songs? Let us know. I'm like,
If they play
I'm
live,
in.
that'd be awesome because, we're based in Sweden, right? So that'd be awesome to be stealing a show with some of these lesser known but locally based bands. We would love to hear that. Maybe Persuader listens to this review. Tell us, where do you play?
Yeah, maybe. And I think there's something to, I don't know. I feel like there's something to this, if you Google Persuader or Savage Circus, is like a German, Swedish power metal band. And I feel like at least the vocals are very power metal Swedish, not so much German, up for debate. But I really like the vocalist of this band. And obviously he works with the ensemble of...
I think it's very pretty.
With a lot of, especially, Iron Savior guitarists. And I'm not a huge fan of just German power metal historically, but I'm like turning to the Persuader. I'm looking forward to going into it. So if you guys know any good Persuader songs, let me know in the comments. Let us know what you thought was the better battle here. As much as we're talking about this Savage Circus, Blind Guardian, European-focused band, I thought Pegasus was also an awesome song.
Yes, I thought so too. It was like a very tough competition to beat, but otherwise in itself, spot on. Well done, Australia. If you celebrate Halloween, just go ahead and have a good time.
Be safe.
Beware of the Headless Horseman. They're out there to take your soul.
Yeah, it's called coronavirus.
But metaphors abund. However, even if you see this outside the Halloween, you're welcome to enjoy these bands. They're really awesome. Give us a comment. What else do you want us to do some themes about? And in the meantime,
may your sword stay sharp.
And your quest end in glory.